Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We have a Australian beer with a bit of mockery of what's going on in America at the moment. So it's called TARRIFS. Good old Trumpy. So it's an American amber, hence the name, and yeah, the cool can artwork. It's 5.1%, and yeah, Banks Brewing are out of Seaford, which is like southeast Melbourne. One of my favourite breweries, and yeah, a style that's a little bit different. You don't see a lot of this sort of thing in the craft world, so be interesting to see their take on it. On the back, it's got hoppy American amber ale with a chewy malt body and an assertive bitterness, hopped with Amarillo and Centennial. So yeah, you might get a bit of sort of hop character and bitterness on top of the sweet malt. Should be decent. Yeah, as I said, 5.1%, 500 ml tin. Let's get into it. I've got my hashtag proper glassware. And I've had a big weekend in Melbourne with the Pint of Origin. Drank a lot of hyped beers, especially from America on Saturday morning or early Saturday arvo as well. I did a live stream yesterday that went pear-shaped. So what had happened, I had Drew as in miscellaneous beer reviews up, and I all of a sudden couldn't hear him. But when I was going on other things throughout my computer, the sound was fine. So I knew it was something wrong with StreamYard, and I signed out of it, went back in, and it was the same problem again. But what I'd accidentally clicked something that had muted the tab, so that's what went on. So yeah, it was pretty annoying because I was real keen for a sesh yesterday, and I'd had some shit go wrong in Melbourne the night prior, so I just wasn't in the mood to be putting up with tech issues. Bloody computers. Anyway, I sorted it out this morning. So yeah, should be fine now. Let's pour this bad boy. And I've got work later today, so it's only the one beer. Normally I wouldn't have any, but I've got so many in the fridge and thought I want to do a review just to get, because I might be doing overtime tonight, so I won't be able to do one tonight. Cheers, Daniel. Good to see you, brother. Looks really nice. It's certainly of amber appearance. Probably it looks fairly accurate in the camera, the colour. It's very clean. You can nearly see through it. You can sort of see through it just slightly. Because of the colour, it's a bit hard. Carbonation's light. The head's quite big and fluffy. I would say probably 4 to 5 finger head. It looks the part. Certainly looks like an amber lager. I would say probably medium body. Let's go with. It smells hoppy, which is good. Sometimes your amber ales can be a little subdued, a little boring, but they've got some hop character as well as sort of a sweet, chewy malt. So yeah, I'm getting orange, grapefruit, and pine, as well as a huge caramel toffee, like a biscuity note. Yeah, it's weird. It almost smells like a West Coast. But yeah, I thought, even though it's called tariffs, I'm not going to start talking political. People will get annoyed. Yeah, it's like sweet orange. It's almost like a blood orange. And yeah, like pithy grapefruit, like pine, yeah, like earth, almost like woodsy. Smells really good. Like as I said, it smells like a West Coast because of the sort of pine and citrus and the sweet malt. So I think it's going to be right up my alley. It'll be one of those beers. I've only got one, and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had more. It'd be sort of be yeah, if it's decent, it could be a nice one for Adam and Mersey beers. Cheers, Lep. Good to see you, brother. Do you like the little piss take on this one? Relevant to what's going on today? Anyway, I'm thirsty. Cheers, boys and girls. That's good. That's real good. Very like citrus forward. It goes well with the malt. Good balance. One thing that'd be awesome is if they did like a retaliation one and it was like Chinese themed. China would hate that though. America doesn't mind when people take the piss out of them, but China fucking hate it. These guys have already got in trouble before with Matthew McConaughey's team because they did a beer called McConaughey's. And yeah, because he's tied up with Wild Turkey and his management, and that didn't like the fact that he'd been associated with a beer. And he actually didn't mind it. He was pretty cool about it. Yeah, the team here in Melbourne were like pretty stoked that McConaughey knew about their beer and was sort of cool about it. The only thing was, though, is because of his Wild Turkey branding. He said he was happy for him to go through with it, but there'd have to be like some sort of like profit donation, and they were going to go through with it, but then they changed their mind. But yeah, they changed the beer name to All Right, All Right, All Right, and then I think they got in trouble for that as well. It's almost got a quite often I'll say Anzac biscuit, which like is only really relevant to Australia and New Zealand because it's the biscuits they made during the war for the Australian New Zealand, yeah, like army or the soldiers or just like here at home. Like it's like a sweet sweet biscuit with like golden syrup, sort of a maple syrup substitute, and it sort of has like that honey sweetness, and that's what I sort of get from this. Ed Anzac biscuits also have coconut, but it's sort of hiccups. It's like an Anzac biscuit minus the coconut. So I'm getting that and like sort of like sweet toffee. Hmm, quite delightful. I'll pour a little more and then I might save some for a photo. So yeah, I one thing with my awesome weekend in Melbourne, I actually used Instagram and Untapped again. Everyone's like, "Who's this imposter? What's he doing?" My For the people that know the craft beer, my Instagram story was pretty lit. There was a lot of hype and some sort of cool setting photos. And then yeah, Untapped obviously. There was stuff there from all around the world. I started off at a UK tap takeover, which was mainly Vault City out of Scotland. They're known for their fruit sours. And then a Japanese tap takeover, which was Teenage Brewing. But I had West Coast Brewing and a few other ones while I was there. That was really good. And then I did some Canadian craft, but the place it was at was shit. It's like a nightclub that just happened to have a few Canadian craft beers. So the setting wasn't ideal if you're just going for the beers. You're there fucking trying to get a beer when everyone else is getting like cocktails and shit and people are dancing. I'm just like, I'm not here for this shit. And then, yeah, the next mornings when I did all the hyped Anchorage stuff. And then I tried a new brewery out of Perth or Fremantle, somewhere in WA, and their beers were really good. They had them on at a residential brewery that are known for like their beer and food pairings and their wine and stuff. He did a few collaborations with these guys, so that was pretty cool. Cheers, Simo. I would have come up on your panel, but because it's Monday morning here and I work later on, I can't really drink. I'm only just doing the beer review and that's it. I was nearly just going to come up with coffee, but then I thought, nah, I'll end up wanting to have a beer. I've hardly joined anyone's streams lately. It's been shit. Ever since my work changed, just hasn't been the same. Especially during the week. But yeah, I could possibly be going to the city again next week because Pint of Origin goes sort of over 2 weekends. If I lived in Melbourne, I'd be on it every day. I would take the week off work and I'd just be into it hard. That's what a lot of my friends in Melbourne do. They try to do every venue. There's one guy I was talking to on Saturday morning. It had only started Friday morning and he'd already been to about 15 venues in a day and a half. I'm like, fucking hell. So what you do is if you are going to do it hard like that, you get a passport and every time you go to a new venue, when you buy a drink, you can scan a QR code and it shows that you've been there and bought a drink. And then every fifth venue you go to, you get a free one. So it's pretty cool the way it's set up. It just encourages people to get out there and check out all these venues and try something new. It's a very cool concept. I wish they'd do more of that sort of stuff. But yeah, because I'm in the country, obviously, I can only sort of go down on weekends. So I just try and do all the international ones because it's like beers I can't normally get. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. And yeah, those that asked what happened on Saturday night, if you're not aware already, I was coming back from the second brewery, coming back to get on my train to go home. And there was all these fuck ups with the train timetables and scheduling and stuff. And every time I do this same like route all the time, and I'm real knowledgeable when it comes to trains and stuff. I know my shit. It's like I wasn't some ignorant guy that didn't know what was going on. So for it to happen to me, it was like pretty rare. And anyway, every time I was getting on a train, it was stopping at a particular station to go into the city and then turning around and going back out the opposite way. And it happened like 3 times. And obviously, by the third time, I'd missed my main train to come back home to the country, and it was the last one. So I was absolutely ropeable, like, because I had no way of getting home then, and I'd already stayed the night before, so I needed to get home to the dogs. And yeah, like I was just going off, and it has happened in the past because I've been misguided by staff members, and it was the same again this time. And I've explained that to them, and I had to wait on the phone and in person for like fucking hours. Yeah, just to be screwed over. I got told I could get to Geelong, which is a city nearby, and then at least from there they'd get me a taxi. So I was like, well, that's all I want. Like, you guys fucked up. I just want to get home, just make up for it, get me home. And then, yeah, anyway, they put me on hold for ages so they could speak to someone higher up. And then, yeah, after coming back off hold, the guy's like, nah, sorry, we can't help you. So I was like stranded in the city. It was so funny. I was like absolutely livid. I put in a huge complaint and just like blasting them about how shit their system is. They were meant to fix the train lines and that like 10 years ago, and they're still doing it. And country people are sick to death of being treated like third class citizens. And people would have just seen me on the phone just thinking, fuck, this guy's angry. So yeah, then what I ended up doing is I've got a mate that lives in Geelong, so at least because I could get back there, I was able to stay at his place just so I had somewhere to sleep. But yeah, I pretty much got back to his pretty late, went to sleep, and then I was back as soon as I could to make sure the dogs were okay. I felt so bad. Like, if it wasn't for the dogs, I would have just put up with it. I would have went, well, fuck it. I'm stuck in the city. I may as well just get back into the grog again and hit a few places I hadn't been to. But just the whole time I was just thinking about, because like I always plan my trips around my dogs. So yeah, they're not left unattended. Yeah, I would highly recommend this beer. Adam, if you're out there, if you watch this back, do you like an amber ale that's hoppy? Because if you do, I'll get you one of these. I just feel like it'd be the sort of thing he'd love. And those of you that aren't aware, Adam from Mersey Beers, shout out to him. He's coming out to Australia in June. So to be the first person off YouTube that I'll actually meet in person. So yeah, we're trying to sort of organise beers for each other. We want to do a big trade. We've already sort of pretty much got all mine sorted. As far as, because he doesn't know our scene, I'm just trying to get him stuff that I feel like he'll like. I've got a good mix already. Cheers, Paul. Good to see you, dude. How's your weekend been? Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to work later. I'm just doing this one beer as a review, and that's it. I was doing a hangout yesterday, and I had trouble with my sound, and I couldn't work out what it was. And I was real pissed off because I was keen as for a sesh because I didn't have to go back to work till this afternoon. And then, yeah, just I couldn't work out what it was. All it was up the top. I'd accidentally muted a tab. So, like, all the settings and that were fine. But when I woke up this morning, I seen the tab up the top had like a little mute sound on an icon. You could just see it. I'm like, why didn't I fucking see that when it happened? Because, yeah, we were live and all of a sudden I couldn't hear Drew. I thought, what the fuck's going on? And he's going, like, I was going through all my settings, and I had a shit Saturday night, so I wasn't in the mood to be like fucking around with tech stuff. So I just went, oh, I'm going to end it. And I was real pissed off because I wanted to drink and hang out with people. Yeah. But yeah, this American amber, dude's really good. It's really hoppy. It's like it reminds me of a West Coast. So a bit of a piss take on the old Trumpy with his tariffs. So yeah, 5.1 American amber with Amarillo and Centennial. So it reminds me of a Westie because it's like real sweet caramel biscuity malt. And then yeah, like you're getting huge like pine and citrus. And it's bitter as well. So yeah, it's right down my alley. I wish I had a 4 pack. What are you gonna drink? Your own stuff? She's pretty quiet out there today. I'm so annoyed that live yesterday. I was so keen. And then I ended up just wasting my Sunday night. Like I ended up just going and having a sleep, and it's like I should have fucking had a good drink. I've got so many good beers in the fridge now too, and I'm working afternoons this week, and when we work afternoons lately, we end up doing a heap of overtime, so I don't have a chance to drink. Unless I crack a beer at like fucking 2 in the morning, but then got to get up and go to work again. That would have been funny. I could just imagine you two being a country fella. Like I'm the same. I'm not true country like you. I'm obviously in a rural area, but yeah, like me and my mates, we're just so used to just going pissing outside somewhere. It's just easier. And you'd be the same. You just anywhere on your property, you're just like, I'll just piss here. It's like, what's the point of using the toilet and using the water? But to do it and someone's going past. Yeah, the other night I was out the front in the little front yard with the dogs, and the dogs were doing a piss just in the corner of the garden. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll just go as well while I'm out here. I need to go because I think I'd been drinking at the time. And then as soon as I started, because it was like fucking 3 in the morning or something. Soon as I started pissing, this huge truck come down the road, and its high beams were shining right on me. I'm like, ah, brilliant, cool. Yeah, it'll get to that stage now where you guys will be mowing all the time. Yeah, yeah. And like dogs, normally it'll be in a similar spot, marking your territory. I try to encourage my dogs to piss under the lemon tree, but they always go to different spots. I don't know why the lemon tree just didn't take off this season like it has with others. It probably hasn't been wet enough. It's been pretty dry. Ah, I could probably go a little bit more. I really don't want to go to work today. Fuck it. I just can't get over how much it smells like a Westie. Actually, if it's called an amber, oh no, it's an American amber, yeah. Amber ale. So if it's an American amber ale, right, that obviously means it's ale yeast, so it's not an amber lager. So if it's got huge like caramel malt and it's American hops and it's really bitter, wouldn't it just be like wouldn't it just be the same as a West Coast? That's fucking with my head. It's got to just be the type of malts they use. Yeah, because when you think about it hard, it's like they're using the same stuff that they use with a Westie, but probably just not as many malts. Yeah, it's piney. It's real piney and citrusy, and it's like yes, like real huge, like caramel toffee and a touch of biscuit, sort of like a sweet biscuit. Like yeah, sweet malt all round, but then yeah, like hoppy as fuck, like pine earth, citrus, and like quite bitter. I would say medium level bitterness. So yeah, that's I can sort of see why it's confusing, and I'm getting like West Coast IPA vibes. Yeah, it's definitely got sort of like a floral touch. Not really getting the spice, no. I get a lot of sort of piney, woody character. Yeah, that's why I thought I reckon Adam would love this beer. So it's only brand new out, like it come out last week. So if Adam joined the chat, like he's probably in bed, but if he watches it back, be interesting to see what he thinks of this style because I'll grab him one. And they did another beer. Paul would be down your alley, an English ale. I can't remember what style specifically, but it's called "You Sound Like You're from London." It was one of the classic English styles. Banks are cool. I fucking love them. I love the fact that they just try so many styles. Most of the time they perfect them, and then they might get the occasional miss, but they're like, "Fuck it, who cares? At least we try." They're not just their IPAs are hyped as, but they don't just do them all the time. They actually mix it up. Yeah, red rye IPA is awesome. I drank some Anchorage stouts the other day, dude. I would say I don't think their hype is as big as I don't. I still think Side Project are a lot better. Side Project had that fuller sort of smoother like base, like body. Um, I felt blessed was good from Anchorage. I just felt I don't know, Deal with the Devil just wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I still gave it a good score, like it was decent, but just for the amount you pay for it and the hype, I just don't think it was. Yeah, they had one that was a collaboration with the bar I went to and an Australian distribution company, and yeah, I felt that was a lot better. Just yeah, like obviously, if you're drinking these big lush stouts and barley wines, you want there to be that thicker, oilier body. They pour it into the glass and it's thin. It's like, what's this shit? Anyway, I should probably wrap it up. Narwhal. Yeah, one of the bars I went to had barrel aged narwhal in a can. I was like, nah, I've had it before. I actually thought when I had narwhal and narwhal barrel aged, I actually thought the original version was better. But yeah, when it comes to yeah, Sierra Nevada and Lagunitas and Founders and some of those breweries, some of their like big beers like that are actually pretty decent quality and like good value for money as well. I still still yet to try Willetized. I really want to try it. Sounds like Willetized is like one of the best beers as far as value for money goes. But yeah, I'm wrapping this up. So the old tariffs by Banks, American Amber. If you love a like an old school Westie, this would be right down your alley. It's got that bitterness, that pine, that citrus, like yeah, sweet sort of chewy malt, yeah, caramel toffee biscuit. Very very nice. And only 5.1%. Yeah, I'm hating my life that I don't have more of it, especially because I keep thinking of Adam, thinking he'd love this beer. So I might have to go out and get a 4 pack, perhaps. I can't remember the pricing of it. Banks are normally sort of medium level as far as pricing goes in Australia's expensive craft world. But yeah, what would I say score for this? Probably go like a 4 point. I'm going to say a 4.3 out of 5. As far as American Ambers go, it'd be one of the best I've had. It just like everything about it sort of speaks to me. Yeah. So yeah, 4 point. What did I say? 4.3. And as much as I would love to kick on, keep drinking, we have to go out and earn money to afford to drink these pricey things. So yeah, thanks everyone for chiming in. It's yeah, been a pretty cruisy little number. If I don't work overtime tonight, I'll be back tonight, which will be I don't know, like 12 hours from now. I don't start work for a few hours and then a normal shift is 8 hours, but lately we've been doing like 12 and shit. So yeah, if I don't do overtime, I'll be back with a review tonight. If not, who knows when I'll be around because I could be doing overtime every night. So yeah. Bit of a pain with work at the moment, not knowing when I finish every day. It sort of affects the channel, but what can you do? Yeah. Thanks everyone for chiming in, and we'll see you when we see you. Cheers.